Hi. Donald Trump is a con artist. That is about the only thing that he is good at. This past Tuesday, moron Donald J. Trump gave his State of the Union address. The whole address was approximately an hour and 48 minutes. As you know, probably by now, it was the longest address in United States history. It was crazy. So I took the liberty of condensing it down to 14 minutes, and so we're going to go through it and talk about it a little bit. Hi, I'm Garth Oxner, former worship leader. I have an MDiv from Acadia University, and I am the host of Faith Challenged. And like I said, so today we're going to go through the video and talk about it. And I'm going to make some commentary along the way. So hopefully you'll enjoy the video. Make sure to comment along the way. And if you like it, like the video and subscribe to the channel. I would really appreciate that. Okay, so let's start the video and get this over with. I've like I said, I compressed it to about 14 minutes. So it hopefully will be a little more easy to digest.
Members of Congress, I have the high privilege and distinct honor of presenting to you the President of the United States.
Our country is winning again. In fact, we're winning so much that we really don't know what to do about it. People are asking me, please, 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 Mr. President, we're winning too much. We can't take it anymore.
I would like to see receipts to see who is actually saying, "Oh no, we're losing. We're losing all the time." Mr. President, you got to tell me. You got to do something about this. You got to just. We need to start winning again. This is like crazy for a president to behave.
We're not used to winning in our country. Until you came along, we're just always losing. But now we're winning too much. And I say, no, no, no. You're going to win again. You're going to win big. You're going to win bigger than ever. And to prove that point, here with us tonight is a group of winners who just made the entire nation proud. The men's gold medal Olympic hockey team. Come on in.
I think that standing ovation was for the hockey team, hopefully not for Trump. But anyway, we'll continue to play the video and see what else we find in this State of the Delusion video.
Now it's just taken off. One of the primary reasons for our country's stunning economic turnaround, the biggest in history, where the Dow Jones broke 50,000 4 years ahead of schedule, and the S&P hit 7,000, where it wasn't.
So the Dow Jones is up 50,000 points, according to Trump. So he's been taking lessons from Pam Bondi, I guess, right?
Supposed to do it for many years. Were tariffs. I used these tariffs, took in hundreds of billions of dollars to make great deals for our country, both economically and on a national security basis. Everything was working well. Countries that were ripping us off for decades are now paying us hundreds of billions of dollars.
Like Canada, for example, we've been ripping the states off for years, and we just love doing it. I don't get why people don't see the truth. But anyway, we're not ripping off the states. The states are benefiting from our products.
They were ripping us so badly. You all know that. Everybody knows it. Even the Democrats know it. They just don't want to say it. And yet these countries are now happy, and so are we. We made deals. This
is kind of like the border being built between Mexico and the states, and Mexico paying for the borders. This is the same playbook.
Those are all done, and they're happy. They're not making money like they used to, but we're making a lot of money. There was no inflation, tremendous growth, and the big story was how Donald Trump called the economy correctly, and 22 Nobel Prize winners in economics didn't. They got it totally wrong. They got it really wrong. And then just 4 days ago, an unfortunate ruling from the United States Supreme Court. It just came down. It came down. Very unfortunate ruling. But the good news is that almost all countries and corporations want to keep the deal that they already made, right, Scott? Knowing that the legal power that I, as president, have to make a new deal could be far worse for them, and therefore they will continue to work along the same successful path that we had negotiated before the Supreme Court's unfortunate involvement. So despite the disappointing ruling, these powerful, country-saving, it's saving our country, the kind of money we're taking in, peace-protecting. Many of the wars I settled was because of the threat of tariffs. I wouldn't have been able to settle them with.
Now, this takes a lot of brains to get the Supreme Court to piss off the Supreme Court is not a good strategic move in my book.
Will remain in place under fully approved and tested alternative legal statutes. And they have been tested for a long time. They're a little more complex, but they're actually probably better, leading to a solution that will be even stronger than before. Congressional action will not be necessary. It's already time-tested and approved. And as time goes by, I believe the tariffs paid for by foreign countries will, like in the past, substantially replace the modern-day system of income tax, taking a great financial burden off the people that I love, and record-setting.
So he obviously has not been paying attention to history. If he was, he would know that tariffs had a great part to play with the Great Depression back in the 30s. So anyway, craziness. Inflation
that cost the typical family $34,000 in just a speck of time. Now the same people in this chamber who voted for those disasters suddenly used the word affordability, a word they just used it. Somebody gave it. Somebody gave us the word affordability. Nobody's ever heard it before. It's craziness to like he ran on affordability. He said, "I'm going to make things cheaper," but now he's saying he's treating the word affordability like it's a brand new word and like somebody made it up. Must have been those lousy, evil Democrats. To him, knowing full well that they caused and created the increased prices that all of our citizens had to endure. You caused that problem. I'm also ending the wildly inflated cost of prescription drugs like has never happened before. Yeah, pretty soon they're going to be paying us to take the drugs from them, which is going to be cool. Other presidents tried to do it, but they never could. They tried. Most didn't try, actually. But they tried. They said they tried. They couldn't do it. They didn't even come close. They were all talk and no action. But I got it done. Under my just enacted most favored nation agreements, Americans who have for decades paid by far the highest prices of any nation anywhere in the world for prescription drugs will now pay the lowest price anywhere in the world for drugs. Anywhere, the lowest price. So in my first year of the second term, should be my third term, but it shouldn't even be your second term, you moron. Strange things happen. I took prescription drugs, a very big part of healthcare, from the highest price in the entire world to the lowest. That's a big achievement. The result is price differences of 300, 400, 500, 600% and more, all available right now at a new website called... So with all of his advisors, you would think that somebody would tell him that 100% off would be zero, and anything over that would be the drug companies paying us. But obviously he either doesn't listen or his advisors are stupider than he is. TrumpRx.gov, and I didn't name that one either, by the way. Yeah, he wants his name on everything. Tonight we've celebrated many truly extraordinary American patriots, but There is one last living legend to honor before we go. He is one more heroic American aviator, Navy fighter pilot. Royce Williams served in World War II, Korea, Vietnam, flying more than 220 missions. In the skies over Korea in 1952, Royce was in the dogfight of a lifetime, legendary dogfight. Flying through blizzard conditions, his squadron was ambushed by 7 Soviet fighter planes. It was his first aerial combat of the war, and despite being massively outnumbered and outgunned, Royce led the takedown of 4 enemy jets and almost destroyed the others, vanquishing his adversaries while taking 263 bullets to his own plane and being seriously hurt. His story was secret for over 50 years. He didn't even want to tell his wife, but the legend grew and grew. But tonight, at 100 years old, this brave Navy captain is finally getting the recognition he deserves. He was a legend long before this evening. Royce, please stand up, and I will ask the First Lady of the United States to present Captain Royce Williams with his Congressional Medal of Honor.
Now, I didn't fact check this, but this sounds like finally an appropriate award going out to an appropriate individual. Congratulations. And thank you for serving your country.
Thank you, Royce, and thank you, Eric. I've always wanted the Congressional Medal of Honor, but I was informed I'm not allowed to give it to myself, and I wouldn't know why I'd be.
Of course you did, you moron. Like, you can't even do something nice and appropriate without injecting himself into the equation. Friggin' moron.
Taking it, but if they ever open up that law, I will be there with you someday. But you know, that's our highest honor, Congressional Medal of Honor, and that's a big thing, and it's an honor to be in the same room with you. Thank you both very much, Eric. Thank you. 250 years is a long time in the life of a nation, but in another sense, it's really a mere moment in the eye of history. 2 of the gentlemen we met in the gallery this evening took their first breaths 1 century ago. 100 years before that, on July 4th, 1826, the author of the Declaration of Independence, brilliant, Thomas Jefferson, drew his last breath. Just a single long human lifespan separates the giants who declared and won our independence from the heroes who stand among us tonight. Everything our nation has done, everything we have achieved, has been the work of those few great lifetimes.
Trump is now concluding his remarks for the evening, and you did not have to sit through it. That would have been a horrible thing to have to sit through 1 hour and 48 minutes of Trump BSing America.
In those brief chapters, Americans built this nation from 13 humble colonies into the pinnacle of human civilization and human freedom, the strongest, wealthiest, most powerful, most successful nation in all of history. Americans ventured out across the daunting and dangerous continent. We carved paths through an unforgiving wilderness, settled a boundless frontier, and tamed the beautiful but very, very dangerous Wild West. From empty marshes and wide open plains, we raised up the world's greatest cities. Together, we mastered the world's mightiest industries and shattered history's monstrous tyrannies. And we liberated millions from the chains of fascism, communism, oppression, and terror.
You are a fascist, Donald J. Trump. You may have liberated the fascism at one time, but now you are the fascist pigs that need to be eliminated.
Americans lifted humanity into the skies on the
You all need to go to jail.
wings of aluminum and steel. And then we launched mankind into the stars on rockets powered by sheer American will and unyielding American pride. We wired the globe with our ingenuity. We captivated the planet with American culture. And now we are pioneering the next great American breakthroughs that will...
Yeah, you sent missionaries through the whole world to indoctrinate the whole world to your way of thinking.
Change the entire world. All of this and so much more is the enduring legacy, unmatched glory of the hardworking patriots who built and defended this country and who still carry the hopes and freedoms on all of humanity's backs. For years they were forgotten, betrayed, and cast aside, but that great betrayal is over and they will never be forgotten again. Because when the world needs courage, daring, vision, and inspiration, it is still turning to America. And when God needs a nation to work his miracles...
Yes, we are still looking to America for guidance. You are a moron if you still think that. We are making our own way here in Canada. I know Australia's doing the same thing. Europe's doing the same thing. We are all getting away from America, and this is nothing but good. This is a good thing, and we've relied on the States too long, and no more. We're going to go it with other people who are other countries who are more reliable than the United States of America under Donald Trump.
He knows exactly who to ask. There is no challenge Americans cannot overcome, no frontier too vast for us to conquer, no dream too bold for us to chase, no horizon too distant for us to claim. For our destiny is written by the hand of providence, and these first 250 years were just the beginning. From the rugged border towns of Texas to the heartland villages of Michigan, from the sun-kissed shores of Florida to the endless fields of the Dakotas, and from the historic streets of Philadelphia to right here in our nation's capital, Washington, D.C., the golden age of America is upon us.
I don't even have any words. The golden age of America is upon us. He wants to take us right back to the 1920s, to the 1850s. It's crazy, but people are still falling for his crap. We need to stand on our own. We need to get away from this moron, and we need to vote in. You need to vote in. I'm in Canada, but people in the United States, you need to get rid of this guy, and all of those people like it. You need to arrest Pam Bondi. You need to arrest Donald J. Trump. You need to arrest Stephen Miller. You need to arrest all of those people because you are covering up. And not a word, by the way, in tonight's address about the Epstein files. There were survivors that were in the auditorium or in the venue. Not a word to the survivors. Just nothing but a cover up. And he should be ashamed of himself.
The revolution that began in 1776 has not ended. It still continues because the flame of liberty and independence still burns in the heart of every American patriot. And our future will be bigger, better, brighter, bolder, and more glorious than ever before. Thank you, God bless you, and God bless America.
I don't really have a whole lot to add to what I've already said. It's just a crazy situation that people still follow this guy. People still are falling for his cons, and it's just unbelievable. I would ask that you please like, comment, and subscribe to Faith Challenged. That would be awesome. I'm trying new formats here because I think reactional videos do work better and they are more engaging. So we're going to try to do pretty much all reactional videos from now on, just so we can comment on them, talk about them, and learn from them. So I'm Garth, And these are my thoughts for today. And have an amazing day.